status, everybody?
Yeah, everyone's good. Yeah, everyone's ready to go.
Joaquim's ankle, is it all the same?
Yeah, he's fine.
Keith?
Fine.
Tom, what can you learn about a potential playoff opponent in a game like this where that potential playoff opponent is missing its MVP candidate?
Well, every game reveals something to you. So, when Howard's out of the game, this will be the lineup they have out there. They can spread you out. It's another three-point shooter on the floor. You look at their last game, they took 35 threes. That was with Howard playing 39 minutes, and Anderson only played 19. And of course, Gilbert played very well in that game. So, they're different in that sense. But you can learn something from every game.
Tom, you're a defensive-minded coach. The Magic claim that Dwight Howard affects more possessions than anybody in the game because the offense and defense. Could you understand that argument?
Well, Howard's grown so much each year in the league, and he's such a dominant force defensively. His shot blocking, his altering of shots, his rebounding, multiple effort guy, and offensively he's gotten so much better each year. He plays within the team also. He's a very unselfish guy. He's hard playing. Their team is, they're an excellent defensive team. And of course it starts with him, but their concepts are great and their schemes are great. So, but again, I think the big thing with him is each year he's gotten significantly better. And I get, again, he's a hard guy to score over. You're always looking over your shoulder with him. He's physical. He's so athletic, the way he can get out and trigger their break. He's such a force too. Then they do a great job with spacing offensively in the pick and rolls. He's rolling to the rim, and they spread you out with the shooting, and that opens up their three-point game. So he adds a lot to their team.
You mentioned that you're not going to ease off in the final 3 games, but is there anything that you can tweak, anything you want to see about an individual or the team that you might be able, that this might afford you the opportunity to do?
Well, there's areas that we still have to improve upon, and we're always, looking at different things, but we're not going to change a whole lot. We began the season with the end in mind, so we've been working towards this all season, and we'll continue to work on it, and we want to continue to improve.
And also, you've been big on your bench play this year. It's been huge all year. In the playoffs, do benches shrink? Will that advantage not be as great in the playoffs, or will it be greater? I mean, how do you feel about it?
Well, we feel good about our bench, so depending on how it unfolds. And of course, the big thing about the playoffs is you're not playing back-to-backs. So guys, your starters can handle more minutes. But we're confident in our bench. We think it's a big advantage for us. We're not going to change a whole lot.
But what do you think it will be as big an advantage in the playoffs? Will that advantage diminish in the playoffs?
No, because you don't know how the games unfold with foul trouble, injury, and I think our second unit, because of their strength defensively, I think that's a big weapon for us. So we'll continue to use it. I'm going in planning on basically the same amount of minutes, maybe a little less, but for the most part it'll be the same.
You kind of actually suddenly stretched out the bench the last couple of games in that second quarter. The starters have gone on a little bit. Is that just because they've been playing well, or is that by design because you're trying to?
Well, we were in it was back-to-back, and the bench was playing extremely well. So I thought it would be a good opportunity for them to play a little bit more. But we're not going to change a whole lot. We're going to keep playing the way we've been playing. And sometimes the starters are going a little bit better, so you ride them a little bit more, but pretty much you want to be consistent with the minutes so it doesn't change from game to game.
Does getting the #1 overall seed matter to you? Is that something you're paying attention to, or?
Well, again, you're trying to win as much as you can. And there's something for us to play for. We're trying to put as many things in our favor as possible. Doesn't guarantee anything, but the big thing is to strive for improvement each and every day, and so that's not going to change.
You look at your record versus the teams in the Western Conference?
Well, you study your record all the time, but again, the most part is I want us thinking about the opponent that we're facing, so we concentrate on that. I don't want us distracted. We want to be aware. We want to know what we're accomplished. So, for the most part, we just want to be consistent with our approach.
I was trying to trick you there. What are you trying to get out of Noah these last couple of games? You mentioned even last game, his ankle was still swollen somewhat.
Yeah, well, we're just trying to get his timing back. In the last game, he was much more active. So defensively, his shot blocking, his timing was better. He's got to improve his timing on his rebounding. I think each day he's getting better and better with his ankle. So hopefully he'll be 100% by the end of the season.
In Boston,
More likely he would be 100% by playing and getting his timing, or not playing and resting his ankle.
That's the thing that you have to think about with him is he missed so much time all season. So he was just starting to get his timing back when he went down with the ankle injury. Then there's another week setback there. He did a good job with his rehab, but now I think it's important for him to get some games under his belt before we head into the playoffs, so he's comfortable with his game. And offensively, he's not where he was at the start of the season, and we're hopeful that he can get that back.
Why do you think he doesn't attempt that elbow jumper as much as he used to?
Yeah, Sam, I think it's because he's missed so much time. And, he does spend a lot of time shooting it in practice, but I just think in the games right now, he still hasn't gotten that timing back. He's gotten better, but he's still not totally comfortable. I think it's just the more he plays and the more comfortable he gets, then he'll look to shoot it more.
How did you feel about Boozer last game? Looked like he was more confident in his shot.
Yeah, no, I think he's been playing very aggressively, and that makes us a much different team. His rebounding has been good. His post presence, pick and roll game very strong. So, and again, I think with him, he's gotten healthier.
When you look back at the time that you had working for Jeff, was there something that his head coaching style and the way he approached his job that you kind of took to heart and now have?
Yeah, a lot. I think I benefited from working for a lot of great head coaches. Certainly Jeff, spent a lot of time with him, so learned a lot from him. And just the way he approached things, getting prepared, his teaching ability, communication skills, leadership skills, all that stuff. And just being in a lot of big games with him, I think that you learn from all those situations. And then, of course, in Boston, the same thing with Doc Rivers, Bill Musselman, John Lucas, Jerry Tarkanian, Don Chaney, and then all the assistants that I've been with also. You learn from them as well. Some of the guys that they've worked for. Brendan Malone was on our staff in New York, and he had worked for Chuck Daly and Hubie Brown. So you learn from everybody.
when you were in Boston, you guys could run big men at Dwight and waves. How much has it helped you now? You got three big guys that you can kind of send at Dwight.
Yeah, well, I think the big thing, the depth up front that we have is, I think, one of our strengths. And they could all play together, and they're all big, strong. It starts with Joakim and Carlos, but then our bench guys, we bring in Taj and Omer and Kurt. We feel we've got quality depth, and they're all a little bit different. So we're going to need them all.
How pleased have you been with Taj as of late?
He's been terrific all season. He had some setbacks with injury, but he's gotten better and better as the season's gone along. I think the big adjustment for him was going from being a starter to coming off the bench, and I think he's comfortable with that now. And, of course, we know that if he has to start, he can handle that great. But his shot blocking, his ability to switch on pick and rolls, he's gotten much better with his jump shot to 17 feet. And he's got a great jump hook inside, so he's playing at a very high level for us right now.